Good morning, dear Dharma friends. Hello to those of you joining us on Facebook and YouTube. Not sure what happened to the sound yesterday halfway through on your channel. I'm not in charge. It is, I believe, February the 11th, 2021 by one calendar. I'm Robert Beatty, and this is a broadcast of the Portland Insight Meditation Community, which you can find at portlandinsight.org. And you can also find lots of really good information at robertbeatty.com. For those of you that are on Zoom and YouTube, if you wanted to, not Zoom, who are on Facebook and YouTube, if you'd like to join and be more part of the ongoing interaction here on Zoom, you can go to robertbeatty.com and get the link there. So, I think the last time I shared this poem was back in the summer when I was broadcasting from the tent. Isn't it interesting? We're coming up on a year that we've had this morning meeting. Quite remarkable. This poem is known as Prelude. Maybe I'll record it. There we go. This poem is known as Prelude by Oriah Mountain Dreamer. How to listen to poetry. We don't listen too hard. We get soft around the edges. We watch the associations that arise. What if it truly doesn't matter what you do, but how you do whatever it is you do? What if you could be more present and open-hearted with every person you encounter working as a cashier in the corner store, a parking lot attendant or filing clerk, than you could if you were striving to do something you think is more important? How would this change how you want to spend your precious time on the earth? What if your contribution to the world and the fulfillment of your own happiness is not dependent upon discovering a better method of prayer or technique of meditation, not dependent upon reading the right book or attending the right seminar, but upon really seeing and deeply appreciating yourself and the world as they are right now? How would this affect your search for spiritual development? What if there's no need to change, no need to try and transform yourself into someone who is more compassionate, more present, more loving and wise? How would this affect all the places in your life where you are endlessly trying to be better? What if the task is simply to unfold, to become who you already are in your essential nature, gentle, compassionate, and capable of living fully and passionately present? How would this affect how you feel when you wake up in the morning? What if who you essentially are right now is all that you're ever going to be? How would this affect how you feel about your future? What if the essence of who you are and always have been is enough? How would this affect how you see and feel about your past? What if the question is not, why am I so infrequently the person I really want to be, but why do I so infrequently want to be the person I really am? How would this change how you what you think you have to learn? What if becoming who and what we truly are happens not through striving and trying, but by recognizing and receiving the people and places and practices that offer us the warmth of encouragement we need to unfold? How would this shape the choices you have to make about how you spend today? What if you knew that the impulse to move in a way that creates beauty in the world will arise from deep within you and guide you every time you simply pay attention and wait? How would this shape your stillness, your movement, your willingness to follow this impulse, or just to let go and to dance? What if the essence of who you are and always have been is enough? That's a nice line. I'm thinking this morning to rather than chant the refuges, rather than chant anything, actually, I'm going to screen share, and hopefully the Lovingkindness Sutra will be on your screen. And I think what I'd like to do this morning is just to read it and to just pay attention. And so if you'd like to read along, please do. Let's stay muted, but this is such a beautiful, the single most popular document, the teaching from the Buddha. So I'm going to do this and share this. So, now let us speak the Buddha's words on loving kindness. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud and demanding in nature. Let us not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove. Wishing, in gladness and in safety may all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will. Whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness, one should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. To maintain an attitude of kind-heartedness toward all beings, beginning, of course, right here at home with ourselves. So please let us land. We got up early, did whatever our morning rituals are. Make our way to the Dharma Hall. In this case, a virtual reality where we sit with our friends. Most mornings, and this one was no exception for me, there's a lot of unknowing in the morning. There's a certain level of quiet anxiety even. Not knowing what will happen today. The calendar says one thing. What will the moods of today be like? What will the interactions with people be like? Will I be safe today? Will my loved ones be safe today? So we set our aspiration. I aspire to be awake, to be mindful, to be curious. I aspire to cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world. And we come to the place of our training, to the gym for the human being who wishes to live mindfully. And we can drop into the body, this body right here, right now. It's alive, isn't it? Notice that it touches the chair or the cushion. Notice that the breath comes and goes. There's really not much to do. And the doing is very subtle. simply to notice that life is here. Breathing and sitting occur. Thoughts occur. Sounds occur. And so awareness, mindfulness, sati, will notice, will wake up in the midst of wandering minds. And then we take pleasure in coming home to breathing in and breathing out. Each breath has a beginning. Each breath has its entire journey from birthing to ending. The same with each thought. The same with each manifestation of the 5 hindrances of desire and aversion and restlessness and agitation, worry, sloth and torpor, dullness and doubt. The same is true of moods, though they tend to stick around repeating themselves moment after moment for a while longer than thoughts. The same is true for sounds, perceptions, memories. The same is true even with consciousness. It comes into being and then vanishes. Waking up is remarkably simple. Just as you woke from sleep this morning, it's very simple. It just happens. Here and now there is awakening from the wandering mind, from those stories that the mind tells. we inhabit and abide in this present moment, which is all we ever have. And sometimes as clarity and wisdom blossom, it becomes really irrefutable that the past is really over. And the future hasn't happened yet. And so what we have is now. Life lives itself now. And we practice bringing the light of mindfulness into thoughts, into the very process of thoughts, so that the choices we make in this moment are not so clouded by the past. We can't fix the past either. It's done. We can, however, be here. Truly, profoundly alive here. With each breath, inviting presence. With each wandering mind, inviting waking up. In our holding all beings in the highest regard, of course, we start with that person we're closest to, which is ourselves. So please add to our practice now, in addition to being intimately present in the body, connect with that sense of longing for well-being which drives every single action of our lives. We want to be safe and cared for and caring. And what we're about to do, I honor the memory of Ruth Denison for. I'd like you to, if you wish, bring awareness into whichever is your non-dominant hand. And suddenly there's fingers, there's sensations. Bear attention. There's awareness, there's knowing. And notice what's required to form the intention, to move this hand with absolutely relaxed and present mindfulness. To initiate the movement of this hand so that eventually the tips of the fingers will come to the cheek on that side of your body. But don't start moving even yet. We're going to move so slowly it'll take at least a minute to get there. The journey is the destination. So notice the intention. And then what muscles need to tense up first? And how does it happen that the fingers can disengage perhaps from the other hand? And then ever so slowly be present in this non-dominant hand. Notice the aliveness in your fingers. Ever so slowly let it approach the cheek. At some point you may notice some warmth or some sensation, some energy between the hand and the face. And let this, if you wanted an imagination, imagine you are reaching out to touch the face of a beloved you thought you might never see again. And there comes a moment when contact happens. First one finger, then another, maybe several. Touching, present. And now letting this hand touch, stroke, become familiar with the cheek. Aware of the contact in the fingertips and in the sensitivity of the face. Let it reach your nose, touching. Bare attention, mindfulness, curiosity. And then with this same delicate persistence, letting these fingertips bring love and presence to the forehead, the cheeks, maybe even the lips. Contact. Present. And notice if there's any hurry. We're always or so often moving on to the next bite. But this bite, this touch, is life itself. There's no special form or procedure. It's curious. It's like, oh, this is the face. This is what this feels like. And taking another minute or so to maybe touch an ear. There's quite a long journey from the face into the space between, and then touching. Contact. And noticing the intention now to part from this contacting, this love-making, this presence-making, and allow the hand to slowly, with great kindness, great attentiveness, let it to slowly find its way back to rest. And you can notice in the proprioceptive sense way that the distance between the cheek and the fingers grows. Eventually, the movement ceases. The life doesn't cease. The cheeks and lips and forehead and ear may be more apparently alive now. And there's still the breath and the body sitting here. And please now notice the whole body. This that we each take to be I, me, and mine. Our vehicle for a lifetime. Our instrument for our actions in the world. And please now bringing awareness to the face again, to the eyes, and then the intention to open the eyes. And we can let the eyes open with the intention of loving kindness, to see each other in our complex human beauty. seeing and knowing of seeing. Sitting or doing anything with the intention of being aware, observing these thoughts and impulses. It's a powerful medicine. Transforms lives. Thank you for coming to practice with me this morning. I think I want to just forego any announcements and invite you, if there's anything you'd like to share, or question, or a celebration, please just unmute and you'll be here.
Hey, Robert, this is Keith.
Hello, Keith.
I have a question about what you said this morning about consciousness coming and going.
Ah, yes.
If you're equating consciousness and awareness, could you speak a little more about that? My experience is it kind of hangs around, but I'd like to hear what you... if you could speak to that a little more.
Well, they say, and my experience concurs with what they say, is that consciousness arises with the object. That in seeing, there's seeing consciousness. And in hearing, there's hearing consciousness. And they arise together and then disappear. And we create a sense of I. Oh, wish I could turn that off, but I'm not going to find it now. We create a sense of I. A conjecture or belief we have is that there's something that persists, and then the phenomena come into it, and that's part of the sense of I am. So I don't know. I know what the theory is, and it does seem to fit my experience. Is that addressing? I guess what I'm really saying is, let's pay really close attention and see what's really true. What's your experience?
I get what you're saying about the theory of it's like they rise together.
Mm-hmm.
So we're only aware of it when we're aware of it.
And who's the we in this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll ponder on that. Thank you.
Me too. Probably for the rest of my life. At one level, it's really obvious. There's a sense of presence and knowing, and the breath is coming and going, and then gone. And then noticing that. There's quite a gap. Even if the wandering mind is a second long, it's still, there's a huge gap. And some wandering minds are much more than that. So where's the continuity in this thing? What's miraculous is that consciousness keeps winking on. The mind can wander and then awake again. Quite remarkable. Thanks, Keith. That's a beautiful spot you have to sit in. Do you have hummingbirds that come to your feeder?
Oh, yeah. They're quite busy this morning.
Huh. Nice trellis outside. What's climbing on the trellis? Is that it? Well, maybe it's just a tree in front of it. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Thanks for your question. It's Tim, the dulcet-toned Tim.
I'll have to look that up in the dictionary. I'm not sure what.
I hope it's not bad.
I think it's good.
I think it's good.
I sat on the porch this morning, thinking, and it's chilly this morning. I got a little tiny porch, it's chilly. And I've been getting weather alerts. My phone gives me weather alerts, and there's a storm warning coming in, and it's supposed to get really cold this weekend, and freezing rain and snow and all that kind of quick, harsh. And I was thinking, well, I'm fine, I'm okay, I got antifreeze in my radiator. It's not gonna freeze. I'm fine. But the people that are sleeping on the sidewalk are not. What a different event it is for them and me.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of them, this is the next few days are going to be so harsh and painful.
Yeah.
And I was thinking how many people were going to step up and how sweet that is. There's a lot of people that are going to have that same thought. Oh shit, these people are going to be really uncomfortable, and they're going to cook food and bring more food. They're going to dig around in the closet and find an extra coat. They're going to bring blankets. They're going to donate money. They're going to pray for these people, all that stuff. So much of that has been happening. And I don't know, maybe especially the last year, so many people have been stepped out and opening their hearts, and how wonderful that is. God, it's just, that came to me, and I kind of thought, well, what can I do? And also, how sweet it is, how many people are doing something.
Yeah.
That's fun to share that.
Thanks, Tim.
Good morning, Robert and Sonia. This is Emily.
Hello, Emily.
Hello. I just wanted to make an announcement about the monthly metta. I promise I'll share something one time, but I know I've just been speaking about monthly metta each time, but one day I'll share something else too. But it's next Wednesday, so we're doing monthly metta every third Wednesday. And we'll be supporting and honoring the Equitable Giving Circle on Zoom. It's next Wednesday, February 17th at 6 p.m. And I'll drop the link in the chat.
Thank you.
To have folks there.
Thank you, Emily. Is that snow on the trees out there? Just the light?
No, yeah, and I'm actually over by Astoria. We are supposed to be getting snow by 12 o'clock today, so we'll see.
Thank you for your announcement.
Thank you.
it's good to be reminded, Tim, both of you just now, with your reminders, I see this mind thinking, oh, how could I be useful this time? How could I? So we really help each other with our suggestions, our reminders. Boy, I just don't know. When I last did some food distribution down under the Morrison Bridge, the circumstances in which those folks are living are so difficult. And, of course, so many of them are not fully functional mentally. They're just barely getting by with their mental illness issues. There's probably many of you know this, but there's a truth here, well, nationwide. 20-some years ago, when psychotropic medications took a big leap in functionality, there was a national move, and it manifested itself in Oregon to deinstitutionalize mentally ill people. And there was a big hospital called Damish, and there were others. I actually went there with kids that I was working with sometimes, or picked them up there. And anyway, I had a friend named Bob Bagwell, who was a psychiatrist, and he worked as a psychiatrist on one of the boards with the state as they did this. And the plan was to take all the money that was being spent on these huge institutions and to take it and build community resource centers in close to people's homes and where their families would be and so on. And so there was this move, and they closed them all. And less than 10% of the money was ever invested in community-based services. So basically, we evicted many of our most vulnerable. And that's...
And the street population increased incrementally. They were just dumped.
Yeah.
They were just dumped.
Yeah. So, lots of room for compassion and whatever action we're capable of. The same was true with education in Oregon. Oregon was the 4th in the nation for educational scores and success. And then ballot measure 5 came along and said, you can't use property taxes to fund schools anymore. And we're going to pass next year we'll pass a property tax, or not, a sales tax. It never came. So we're now way down 40th or something because we don't fund our schools. So that's a happy note, isn't it? Anything else stirring in a heart out there?
Good morning, Robert.
Hello. Hello, Chris.
This is Chris Morris, and
Hi.
have been with your meditation group probably for 3 or 4 months, and I just wanted to thank you for what you do. And I was telling my friend Karen, who also joins in, but I said he's like a Mr. Rogers for adults.
Well, that's high praise.
Minus the cardigan sweater, but anyway, I just want to thank you for doing this, and every morning I feel like I learned something and feel like I start my day just in a really good way. So thank you for that.
My delight. I will take that in and really wrap my heart in it. I love Mr. Rogers. I have a couple or 3 poems or writings of his that I read sometimes, and I always introduce him as a great saint of the 20th century.
Yeah, he is.
He really cared about children. People. He cared about humans.
Robert. It's Russell.
Hello, Russell.
Excuse me, here my voice isn't working yet. I wanted to two things. One is to second Chris's notion. When she said that, I thought, oh, that's really so very true. And I've been watching, I recorded some of the specials on Fred Rogers, and I've actually been watching pieces of it from time to time. And he's such a lovely man, as are you. And then I wanted to say, thank you for reminding me, for helping me see the subtlety of my own striving. So when I do my outdoor aerobics exercise, I climb some hills near my house, streets, but they're on some pretty steep hills, a couple of them. And for some reason, that's a time, and was always true when I was in the woods and so forth, when I am more likely to come into the moment. But I realized I started doing mindfulness like a checklist. Let's see, what am I feeling? What am I hearing? What am I seeing? And some of that's okay. But you opened up the possibility I don't have to bother with the checklist. I can just allow awareness and awakeness to occur. And I am most grateful for that. Thank you.
Yeah, Russell, I know you well enough. You've been productive enough in this lifetime already. You've arrived. I try to remember that myself. This sense of something has to be tense in order to be alive, and maybe it's okay to relax and breathe, huh?
Hi, Robert. It's Kat.
Hello, Kat.
Hi. I have two very quick, fun little things. One is that, I'm still pretty new to this practice. I've been coming now close to 6 months. And so I've noticed, wow, a lot of the teachings are very repetitive, and I never, and sometimes I've heard that story, and it's lovely, but I notice oh yeah, that's becoming familiar, but I don't always register sort of the why of why it's repeated over and over until I was making a cup of tea with a mug I really, really love, and a big heavy pill bottle dropped on the mug, and the first thought that comes to my mind is, the mug's already broken. And it's oh my God, this is literal brainwashing. My brain is getting a bath. I don't need to care about this mug, which is a mug I really love. Not that I don't care about it, but it was already broken. And so that was really lovely. And I am also pretty sure you've said before that the past is over, and I probably have heard that maybe once or twice, and yet today it was oh my God, the past is over. Oh my God. Whoa. In a really deep way, and I'm in a process right now of doing some big healing work from childhood stuff. And it's a really magical thing to realize I'm actually healing myself now. I'm not healing the past. I'm healing now. I'm healing the present. And that's that makes it a lot feel more doable. Like I can't go back 33 years, but I can do today. So that's it. Thank you.
It's a bit noisy at your house, I hear.
That is my soundtrack of meditation.
I know.
The rare moments that they are silent is when the cats decide to sing their canary songs.
I see. Right now, that's what's happening. Yeah. I just noticed something in the chat from Tanya. Greenhouse gas emissions plunged by 2.4 billion tons this year, a 7% drop from 2019, the largest decline on record. Imagine 2.4 billion tons. Phew. The scale of it is amazing. Well, friends, shall we head off about our day? Being as loving toward ourselves as we can. Someone spoke.
That would be Joe.
Hi.
Good morning. I just wanted to say to the group, from the time I was a child, falling snow brings me into the moment, into the quiet being and awareness as snow falls. And it came home to me at the silent retreat in Brightonbush last year, that in those moments when I am alone and surrounded and hearing the quiet snowflakes fall and accumulate, that being aware and in the moment has always been with me even from a child. I just sort of didn't pay attention most of the time, but in that moment I always did. And it was kind of a full circle moment for me. I may not get snow this weekend where we live, but those of you that do, think of that, even if it's just for a brief moment. There's something so magical and wonderful about snow falling. And I just wanted to share that. And I can no longer think of you without thinking of Mr. Rogers. I'll try and work on that.
Any confusion between me and Mr. Rogers, I welcome completely. Actually, I might share this with you, and it's a perfect moment for it. I think I can pull it up really quick. Oh, I could do it on my iPad easily. There's a statement from Mr. Rogers that is, I think, the founding document of PIMC. And I've said this 150 times. And so where is it? It's under Mr. Rogers, LMN, Mr. Rogers. Here it is. All right. A blessing from Mr. Rogers. A friend of mine visited a beautiful monastery where a dozen monks, most of whom were in their 70s and 80s, were living. This is a place where once 60 to 70 men spent their lives studying and following a rule of very strict living, praying together 7 times a day, 7 days a week. They worked hard and they were successful. My friend asked one of the monks why he felt that over the years the community had dwindled from 60 to 12. His reply was, "We did everything right, and somewhere in all that successful praying and work and living, we lost the most important thing of all, the thing that was so contagious and attracted people to us. We lost the naked love. Little by little, the success was replaced. The success replaced the love. Oh, sure, you can have love and success, but the love has to remain first, always first. Natural, affirming, inclusive, naked love. Love and success always in that order. It's that simple, and it's that difficult." That's the end of that poem that I wrote about traveling in the airplane. Either we love one another now or not at all. It's now. So shall we go out on a song? I love this little ritual. It's so utterly silly. Are you going to grab the kids, Kat? Any other children? Come on in. Here they come. Hang on, let me get the spotlight. Ready? Here we go. You ready? You want to lead us singing? You go ahead. 1, 2, 3. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a lovely, mindful day.
Just when you hear all the voices.
Hey Robert, look what I made with my Lego.
Whoa, move it closer to the camera. I can't see it very well. Whoop. Watch it. Oh, that's cool. Is it spinning? Yeah.
It has a little propeller in front.
Whoa.
All those diamonds.
Great.
Nice.
Thank you. That's a funny sound.
Enjoy flying, Cat.
Goodbye, dear friends.
Their pleasure.
Have a fine day.
Bye. Goodbye. Bye, Denise.
Bye all.
Bye, Francine.
Yeah.
Goodbye, friends.